What's going on, Taurus? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the rest of November 2024. So in this reading, Taurus, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy, some things you do not see coming, and also get some advice from your angels and spirit guides and so much more regarding the rest of November 2024. So before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading. And I really do appreciate you in advance, Taurus, for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading does happen to resonate with you, definitely smash that like button. Subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here, Taurus. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pull the energy and see what's coming your way for the rest of November 2024. Also, if you're interested in exclusive tarot readings from me and astrology workshops where we can talk about all the things that we can't talk about on YouTube, then consider joining the Mystic Mastermind School. All the information will be found in the description box below. Let's go. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides for overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Taurus. All right, Taurus, let's go ahead and see what is going on here for you. It definitely seems like your long-term goals and your legacy is basically up in the air. It may be confusing you at this time because certain people are going to be leaving your life when it comes to November 2024 that you may actually have unconditional love for, that you just feel no longer belongs in your life, because there's clearly a message here from Spirit that there's a certain commitment in your life that may have been very close to marriage. For some of you, you may have been married to this person. You may be that there's a lot of it's taking more from you than it's actually giving at this time. And so there's definitely a lot of emotional confusion in the air when it comes to the emotional ties that you have to your current work, or for some of you, it's the emotional ties that you have to certain people that you feel are part of your legacy. But what the universe is saying right now is that there's a challenge to see this from a different perspective, that some of you have been holding on to something that basically should have already been out of your life. I feel like this is a really confused, this is someone that has emotionally confused you for a very long time. And I feel like it's important to maintain the love where the love is due, right? We don't have to get into any sort of negative emotion when it comes to letting go. That's like directed aggressively in a negative way at people. But there is there is a certain level of release that I feel is coming for you when it comes to your own legacy and some of the people that are going to be tied up to it for you in November 2024. Let's go ahead and before we get into the tarot, start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe, and these oracle cards contain the energy that you need more of. And the first one is the Rebel. And you see this is like the emperor that is breaking free of restrictions in your life. And I do feel like there are things that you've been holding on to that have basically been your chains, you know, things that have been chaining you down. And it's time for you to release them in a way that you really start to care for yourself in some sort of way here, Taurus. You also have the Rebirth card, and you see the camel, the lion, and the child here. And so your own inner child is coming on board here, and you're starting to realize that a lot of the things that you've been holding on to have been because of your own inner child wounding, certain things that have happened to you in childhood that you may have been rehashing out with people or dealing with in certain ways. Like there's a quote that if you don't address your own childhood trauma, your intimate relationships will. And I feel like that is definitely the case this month for you, for the rest of the month. And you have rebirth, and the next card that you need more of is stress. So I feel that this energy here with the rebel, rebirth, and stress is the universe is asking you to rebel against anything that brings you more stress than it does peace. And if you're being honest with yourself, Taurus, the universe wants you to look at that this has been you for a long time. You've been spinning your plates, and there's been a monkey. Maybe there's a monkey on your back, metaphorically speaking, in the term of a person who, when you talk to them, you feel drained. For some of you, this is going to have to do with certain people that you've been collaborating with in business, in your work, in your overall general energy. You have the 10 of Pentacles, and you also have the 7 of Cups here, which is to do with confusion, you know, making a difficult emotional choice when it comes to your long-term investments. And I feel for many of you, this long-term investment is going to be having to do with a specific person that has honestly brought you a lot of stress into your life. And it may have been a situation that caused you to not be able to put yourself first. And there could be a situation for many of you, I feel, that you've put a lot into something only to end with confusion. You've put a lot into something that I feel there is a level of emotional manipulation. For some of you, this is going to be a current place of work that you've put so much energy into it, and then there can be a recognition that it's not actually being honored. For a lot of you, this is also going to be with a person or in conjunction with that. There's a stressful situation that you've put so much energy into in kind of like an unconditionally loving way, but it may have been in a way that what you've been calling love that you've been pouring into something has been an old version of yourself trying to maintain its own conception of reality. And I feel that there's a moment in time where you're being asked to lovingly release things and to really manifest situations that benefit you, that can raise you up rather than rip you down. And I feel like this is kind of in your overall general energy, you also have the 10 of Swords, and this Osho Zen Tarot, the energy you need more of is the 10 of Swords. So there's definitely a complete ending and a rebirth here. There's a version of you that you've been holding on to that has already been out of order, and that's why your life may actually be out of order. It's been a stressful situation that has not been allowing you to rebirth yourself. So it's definitely going to require rebelling here. And your opportunity is to look at the frequency of unconditional love. And I feel like it's a situation that you've been trying to give to someone or something that really hasn't been giving it back to you in some sort of way. Your opportunity is the Queen of Cups. So this is to be aware of emotional undercurrents. This is a very giving energy of love. So whatever you are saying goodbye to, whatever confusing situation is coming to an end that's going to inevitably alter your legacy and push you into a new direction of positive karma, is to release this with love. But we'll see why in a moment. The Queen of Cups is your opportunity. So do whatever you're doing here, whatever you're rebelling against, whatever stress that you are eliminating from your life, there's no need to do it in a harsh way. There is a graceful way that you can surrender this. And I think that if you do it that way, that's the result that you'll get. What you put out is what you get back. You also have the Hanged Man as your challenge. So the thing is that it's hard for you to view this from a different perspective, this ending. And this love that you've been offering that maybe wasn't received well. I kind of do feel like there's a situation where people took your love and your vulnerability and kind of used it to their benefit, whether that's the work that you've been doing, being in some sort of company or some sort of legacy that you've been creating. I feel your unconditional love has been, for some of you, it's been misinterpreted as weakness. For others of you, it's been actually registered as pure and then used against you because that's people in this world have a tendency to do that, or the human ego has a tendency to do that. So there's definitely, your opportunity is to stay in the love frequency no matter what ends here, and to maybe look at it from a different perspective. I feel that many of you, when you've let go of certain stressful situations in the past, there may have been a certain level of bad blood, or there may have been a certain level of confusion that led to rash action. And the universe is saying that, as long as you can release this with grace and love, then you're going to be okay. But there's definitely major changes occurring right now, Taurus, because in your overall general energy, there are major endings. You have the 10 of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups, and also the 10 of Swords. So I feel that if you choose to hold on to something that is bringing you more stress than clarity, then you're setting yourself up for a very confusing final ending to November. There's a high probability here that November for you ends in emotional turmoil. It's like almost like indecision, being stuck, weighing emotional options that ultimately weigh you down. And I feel like there's something that deep down you do not want this to be part of your legacy. That basically you've hung on to a situation now that you're in the confusion. You're already in the confusion, and that's why your challenge is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is about surrender. This person is kind of caught red-handed, and they're looking at their life from a different perspective, but it's also a moment of awakening. So there's definitely a moment where you're awakening out of confusion, but the final ending, or the result of that is going to be a complete ending in your life. Maybe it's, for a lot of you, it's a person, or it's something that's attached to your legacy. Now, in what you don't see coming, you have the Chariot, the Hierophant, and also the 9 of Wands here in what you don't see coming. So as you break away from this, and as you move towards something that is actually worth your commitment, I feel, there's still going to be this feeling of unfinished business, and whatever you didn't learn within this dynamic is now going to have to be learned in a new dynamic. What have you learned from this situation? What trauma have you learned from this situation that you're now going to apply in a positive way or in a beneficial way moving forward? I feel like everything happens for a reason. The universe always has a plan, but there's definitely here, I feel like there's something here that you've been committed to. But all it's done is really brought up your trauma. All it's done is revealed other people's trauma rather than create a solution, or rather than create something that's stress-free. It's brought you more stress, but it's not the good type of stress. It's the stress that makes you defensive. It's the stress that makes you unable to transform. So that's why the universe is saying you're divinely protected to move towards something that would suit you better, although it's difficult. Now, in your advice, you have the King of Pentacles, the 7 of Pentacles, and also the 3 of Pentacles. And I feel like it's saying that as you change your legacy right now, and as you release something that's been here for a very long time, whether it's a relationship that's brought you a lot of confusion, it's a job that's brought you a lot of confusion, Spirit is saying to remain grounded and actually to focus on your money and the good karma that can come out of this here. Because I do feel that the universe is always recording, the universe is always watching, Taurus, and the universe is saying here that you have new people to collaborate with, you have new things to learn, you have good karma, seeds that you've planted throughout this whole process are now coming up for you to look at. And the King of Pentacles is also a frequency of abundance. There could be a new person that you're going to be working with. And I do feel like what the advice that Spirit is saying is that when it comes to your love life, even for many of you dealing with a love situation, it's like you want someone who is on your level, or you want someone who you can learn something from, and you want someone who can actually teach you something rather than a stressful situation that you feel is robbing you of your ability to learn and grow and collaborate. I just feel like maybe, I feel like this reading comes down to you forcing collaborations with people that and jobs and situations that you deep down knew weren't right, and now you're kind of suffering the confusion of coming to a place where something that was meant to be in your life for a period of time, it's now time to release it, but you've held on for so long that the universe is saying it's back to ground zero. So let's go ahead and clarify some of these cards to see what's really going on. Let's clarify why the 7 of Cups is here in your overall general energy. Why is the 7 of Cups in your overall general energy for the rest of November? What's this confusion about? Page of Wands could have to do with like an extremely immature energy. Ace of Swords in reverse. The truth is not there. The truth gone bad. And the Two of Swords. I feel like there's a truth that you knew in the past that you tried to deny. This could have to do with someone's level of immaturity around you. You knew someone that was immature. Someone just wanted to have fun, or your own immaturity kind of caught up to you for some of you that you knew wasn't true. And now you have the Two of Swords, which is about denial. It's about not wanting to look at something. It's about being closed down. So I do feel that whoever you're trying to work out a situation with that your legacy is tied to, whether this is a work situation or a love situation for many of you, the reason why it's falling apart is because truth is not welcome at the party that you were at or the party that you are at. And for a lot of you, it could be your own personal truth. For a lot of you here, maybe you've been trying to be a lion for a long time, not realizing that there's levels to this. You can be a lion roaring in the face of people, getting rich, doing whatever, but then you may lose your happiness, you may lose your soul. And so right now the universe is saying that it doesn't matter how much some sort of thing that your legacy was tied to. For a lot of you, it could be someone that you love very much. It could be a vocation that you've loved for a very long time. But as your truth changes, or as the truth catches up to you, there's some sort of immaturity here that is blocking truth from being available to you. And that's what this emotional confusion is about. It's about some sort of immature energy that does not allow truth to arise. So whether this is in your workplace or whatever, this is what's coming to an end, because this is why you're stressed out. This is why you're stressed out. The Page of Wands upright to the Ace of Swords in reverse. An immature energy that cannot handle truth. And for most of you, I don't feel like you're the one that needs to be beating yourself up as if this is your fault. I feel like you've done your best to love something to only realize that it can't really give you back what you've put in. For most of you, okay? Now for others of you, it's about owning up to your own immature ways as well. It's always a two-way street, but for the most part, like I said, let's see why the Queen of Cups is in your opportunity. Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles upright. So this is about I feel your opportunity is to not give up on what you know you deserve in the long term, okay, which is love, which is receptivity to your ideas here, which is people that actually want to love your vision of yourself rather than kind of maybe be in this energy towards you, you know. But then you have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, the Page of Cups upright, the Magician in reverse, the Knight of Swords in reverse when it comes to your opportunity. And I feel like your opportunity is to recognize that your love was taken for weakness and spun in a weird way. I also feel like you have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse here, is to love the immaturity that is leaving your life right now. And there is, you know, Taurus is a very patient energy here. And there's some sort of immature, impatient energy that is all based on potential that is leaving your life. I feel like the opportunity is to realize you may have fallen in love with the potential of someone or the potential of something that you're doing rather than what it's actually showing up as. And for a lot of you, this Knight of Swords in reverse, this Eight of Pentacles in reverse, is there may be someone around you who whether this is people you're working with or a loved one that is unwilling to work hard and just wants to do everything extremely fast, wants to rush into things without really seeing themselves clearly and how their actions affect you clearly. And I feel like this is what you're kind of letting go with love. You may have tried everything just to reach a point where you can't do it anymore and you feel like you know it's not going the way that it should. But what if I told you everything is going the way that it should and you were already meant to release this chapter? And so that's why the universe is saying, hey, look, you have all this to look forward to. Good karma, new collaborations, and new money. That's what's on its way to you. But in what you don't see coming, there's weirdness when it comes to releasing this commitment that you're going to be feeling. So why is the Hanged Man in your challenge? Why is it challenging for you to see this from a different perspective? The Queen of Swords. Three of Pentacles. The Devil, the Nine of Wands. Six of Wands, Five of Wands. Yeah, the Hanged Man is clarified by the Queen of Swords and the Three of Swords here. And I feel like this was a forced collaboration. I feel like this is something that could have worked ultimately, but at the end of the day, the Nine of Wands is right next to the Devil. There's some sort of immature toxicity, someone who's unwilling to collaborate with you. It's almost like you're trying to force a collaboration, because your challenge is to release this, right? Your challenge is to release a collaboration, and then your advice is to actually take up a new collaboration here. You have the Three of Pentacles all over this reading twice. So I do feel like there's some sort of unfinished toxicity that you have with someone that needs to finally be let go of because of their, I feel like it's a very a sharp energy that once again may have taken your love for granted, or may have been quick to compare you to other things out there, etc., that you're kind of letting go of. Let's clarify why. Let's actually clarify that Ten of Swords in your overall general energy, just to get a little bit more information on this ending of what it's coming up as in November. You have the Four of Pentacles. It might be something that's not really, yeah, Four of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Two of Wands. Yeah, so this ending is not, it doesn't seem like it's actually a nasty ending. Like I said, your opportunity is the Queen of Cups upright, to be aware of emotional undercurrents and to make decisions that are right for you and are right for someone else, even if they're painful. But like I said, the Ten of Swords is clarified by the Four of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Two of Wands. There's no real bad blood here. There could be a kind of a hidden new beginning that's entering in your life, or more stability. You know, once this is over, there's a new opportunity with more stability, and you have a choice in front of you, a risky option in front of you, a safer option behind you. But these could even be two new different career options, new people that you're going to be collaborating with. But that's definitely up in the air here. It's definitely like there's a stressful situation you've been trying to force, and for some reason your soul and everything's been tied up into it, but I feel like now you're letting it go. Let's clarify why the Nine of Wands. I feel like there was a lot of potential. I feel like you fell in love with the potential of something rather than the actual thing itself. Yeah, the wrong choice. Maybe you made the wrong choice and you're kind of admitting that to yourself now, and it's coming back to hurt in some sort of way. The Nine of Wands and what you don't see coming is clarified by the King of Cups and also the Lovers. So yeah, it will feel like there's definitely hearts and emotions involved in this let go of a long-term thing. You really were invested in this thing. You thought this person was going to be around for so long. But then you have the Seven of Swords to the Moon in reverse as well. So I do feel that there's some sort of thing that was not clear to you, and maybe that's why you held on to this for so long. But there could be the idea of bad intentions here that you maybe didn't pick up on. I feel like there was red flags that you were kind of ignoring when it comes to this commitment, that now when you finally do let go, you see things more clearly, that maybe there was a certain level of immaturity here that couldn't face truth, that when this happens, it leads to delusions. You know, the moon has to do with illusions. It has to do with projections and projecting the idea that you never really wanted to help, projecting the idea that you were always the bad person. And I feel like that could be projected onto you, and that's why the universe is saying don't enter that game. Remain strong here, Taurus. So let's clarify also the Seven of Pentacles in your advice. King of Pentacles and the Empress. I do feel like it's like, as you release this, all your finances, because you're going to be less stressed out, you're going to be able to work towards anything that you're doing much more efficiently with people that are actually on your level or can take you to a higher level. You have the Two of Cups, you have the Six of Wands, and you have the Temperance card, the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, so a lot of you can actually be in new business relationships very quickly, there can be new opportunities like coming in as soon as you release this. Two of Cups, Six of Wands, that's public victory. That's new relationships coming in a good way. Six of Pentacles, it's also about balance, fairness, Knight of Wands. Then you have the Temperance card, which is about balancing things out, healing. And it's like an angel. So I do feel like the universe is sending you like new grounded angels, if that makes sense. Like it's sending you all this new whatever was holding you back, there's going to be an equal counterbalance. But really remember what this reading is about, Taurus, is that anything that has been depleting you, after you're doing this, you have less energy. It's time for you to rebel against this thing that you've been, look, like in your overall general energy, it's the Seven of Cups. The energy that you need to look at is the Strength card. There's something that you're juggling, going back and forth in your mind. Is this right? Is it not? If you've had to do that for so long, it's an indication that it's not right. You've just gotten yourself so deep into it that now the truth is obscured, and you may not even be believing your own truth because of the length of the deception going on around you, or the length of the incompatibility that you've held on to. Now you become what you are around. So there's a complete reset here, but it's something that it's not like you're just going to go into hermit mode. Spirit is saying that you can channel this new energy into a new project, into good karma, and into a quick victory here. There's nothing about you just kind of not working anymore, but there's a shift to it. So with that being said, I'm going to conclude this reading. Talk to you next